Hello, everybody. Ryan Carpenter here with No BS Golf, presented to you by P45 Knuckle Down Golf. That's right here in Central Georgia, right? We're here in Warner Robins. We got everything you need at www.thegolfpub.com. My partner, it is, like you'll always hear me say, the absolute best environment. We have got everything we need from information to controlled environment to focused development, you name it, in order to help players get past all the things that are holding them back. Movement here, motion there, sequence this, all the things that get in the way of player production and abilities. So, and especially this time of the year with winter going on, right now is the best time to actually be doing this. And this is a big part of today's quick subject is, there's two parts to this whole indoor thing, right? And you can be a naysayer, and that's fine. I'm not going to try to like steer you or fix your mind and your brain for the poo-pooers of the indoor golf. Indoor golf is not meant to be a 100% duplication of the real thing. It's impossible. There are some little elements that obviously can't be duplicated. That's no duh. But the point is that nighttime, raining, cold, hot, like there's all kinds of times and things that occur that don't allow us to enjoy that outdoor, experience. And so why wouldn't we want to maximize our abilities and time if we have it to continue to work on and simply at least have a ability to continue to swing and develop. And so play wise, here's what I'm going to tell you. The technology is good enough and it's close enough. Now, the one thing I will say is there are some elements to ball flight for a very select group of people, not many, that the measurements and algorithms and all this stuff are not going to pick up on the full scale output. But I'm going to tell you this, for most of you, it is damn close enough, and for sure close enough that it is not egregiously incorrect. I have logged more time on these things than most people on the face of this earth. And I also have the expertise to understand whether or not the ball's flying the way it is or isn't. And I can tell you right now, it is absolutely more than close to accurate than not. That is for sure. And until you've spent the last 25 years of your life studying and dedicating yourself to this, then you can't come in and start, about how this and that and blah, blah, blah. I want to see it in both real time. I want to see it in the bay, and then I want to be able to go out and get some TrackMan numbers and see exactly what you're talking about outside that is so egregiously different, because it ain't the truth. It's a load of garbage. And that's fine. If you don't want to play at the facility, that's fine. That's your choice. Let everyone else enjoy it who's not going to be so poo-poo about that stuff. Now, on the other side of the coin, this is what I want to go over the most today, because when it was cold as hell out there, the amount of things we accomplished in one session was massive. And I've done this for a long time. I spent 8 years at Golf Tech. I've done this on FaceTimes, in garages, in homes, in basements, you name it. You can't tell me that you can't get better at golf without being on a golf course. That is an absolute load of BS, the biggest load of BS. And I'm proof of that freaking being wrong. So for someone to say that, it's because they don't know what the hell they're talking about, period, the end. Now, in an indoor session yesterday, I can tell you this. What did we accomplish? We were able to go through course holes and understand the game theory, the analyzing of the possibilities. We were able to work through probably 20 different scenarios yesterday, over and over and over again, as if we were out there in that cold ass environment. Instead, we were in the pub, nice and comfy, and had a perfect environment to be able to help work through these things. So we were able to walk through, and tremendous amounts of insight was gained from this. And the ability to see and understand this in a different way. It was a great session. Well, not just that. So then we went into understanding, okay, we worked on. There's some level, again, details can't be worked on, but we worked on a little bit of understanding spin control and trajectory. So we were able to walk through that and some options and understanding some shots and things and how to look at it and consider what are those options. And my rule of thumb, and especially from about 100 yards in minimum, roughly, depending on the player, you got about 5 big options that you can choose from to alter things and make what you're trying to accomplish into that scenario happen. And so now some players can and some players can't. That's a different story. I try. I can't always do it. I'm not infallible. I fail a lot in this game. So it's the way it is. But knowing what the options are is the most important thing, and then being able to maybe choose the best one. Well, we were able to get through that. Well, then we got to the point where we started working on a certain shot, and we were able to hit the shot over and over again. And he said, yeah, you know what? This is one of those areas I can't figure out. And I said, what you mean? He said, well, and so we started hitting shots, and we're looking at it. I'm like, this does not make any sense. Well, started diving deeper. We were able to get into understanding quality, makeup, set progression, the equipment, the technology, the information within what this player had. Well, we learned a few things. We had some duplicate clubs, basically. And so, yeah, there wasn't any difference between them, really. And that's because it was 2 different builds and 2 different stamps on the top of the clubs. And I said, well, you got to understand that these are basically the same thing with a subtle difference in design, build. And so we worked through that. Then we went to the next part and come to find out, oh, these are secondhand clubs. And I get it. I know the world of golf, and I know your all's mindset. How can I save the most amount of money possible? And I totally get it. But here's what I'm going to tell you right now. The secondary market is one of the most dangerous places to do your shopping. Not only because, except for a handful of Ping equipment that have a code that I can specifically go to Ping and look it up and find out when was this club built, who was it built for, what were the custom specs, and who sold it to who. That's the only company on the planet that does that. Ping, right there. Other than that, I can't verify anything that's on the secondary market. Beyond that, people go and tinker and do all kinds of crap with this equipment. Well, we had like a 20-yard freaking gap between 2 short irons, which is ridiculous. And so what we were able to figure out was, well, we thought this club was this, and so we were able to go through the set and start figuring out, well, wait a minute. If we put one of these here, that makes up for that, and this thing needs to be measured and tested, and because it's probably something's gone wrong, or I don't know, but you can't have that much gap, and there's nowhere to fill it in because technically these 2 are matched, but they're not, obviously. And so, and there are 2 different shafts. There's like all kinds of freaking craziness going on. And so we got to the point where we're thinking, well, if we're going to do all that, why not just do a fitting and maybe start looking at a new set to invest in, something that could last 20 years because it's built correctly. It matches the player. The player has developed enough at this stage that we can actually measure it. In other words, I can have this player hit 27 irons and I can take 16 of them and they're all going to have the same set of data, not data all over the damn place. I don't know how you fit somebody when their data is just crazy every damn shot they hit, because which set of data are you fitting to now? I don't understand. Anyways, and so we went all the way from set progression understanding, defining club build, and getting much more of a proper education on understanding golf equipment and the true tech and the build difference and how that truly affects it, and then walking through a set to then diving into the next investment for the future and talking about, well, if we do this, well, here's probably where we're at and what we could use and what we don't need. And we were able to go all the way through a full set, almost dang near from, at least sand wedge up to about 3-wood. And by just properly assessing and having a conversation, it immediately made the player feel 100% more comfortable with at least considering that investment for the future. So I don't push equipment. I don't like anybody thinking they're going to get better because you paid some stupid ass company a whole lot of money and magically that's going to fix your game, because that's a load of BS. If that was the case, and there was I got to go try to search and find it more, but If that's the case, then why isn't everybody shooting 72 every damn day? By now, we've had 30 years of amazing progress in equipment, but the national average handicap has actually gone up. So please explain to me how that's possible with all this amazing advancements, right? Now, who has gotten way the hell better? Tour pros. But they're doing it from all aspects. They're working on it hard. They're working on their bodies hard and nutrition and, you know, all the things. And then you add the technology to it and bam, it's just even better. So there is some room for improvement and output that does come from the tech, but it's not as much as because this clip that I found, and I wish I could find it again, but it was hilarious. This young man came on and he said, wait a minute. Every year for the past 20 years, y'all said it went 5 yards further. Well, if that was the case, then how come my pitching wedge ain't going like 342 yards then? That's an honest consumer question that everybody should be asking, and nobody does. You just immediately see the ads, the things that just popped out this week, the new conforming clubs, and the new logos and the fancy wordings and the sales that pop up going, oh, look at the brand new this and the brand new that. And you don't take a step back and to consider and go, wait a minute. Well, I've already had 1, 2, 5 of these in my lifetime. It's not really going that much better. So why is that not happening? There's only a degree of which we can alter, fix, improve based off how you are learning how to do things with that dang golf club, okay? And so that's why lessons come first. Development comes first. Improvement comes from you. When that is in place, now we can custom build something and really make some huge adjustments. Now, that being said, there is one scenario where that's not the case. If you have said player, really, really bad player, and for whatever reason, they got themselves into a set of clubs that were, for lack of any other way to describe it, some really crappy golf clubs, basically. Terribly built, no real tech, just made to look like tech, so garbage. Now we're in a situation where, yes, an improvement can be had, but it's not going to take this player from shooting 110, 190 all the way down to 80s and 70s. That just ain't – golf equipment cannot do that. There's no ball. There's no shoe. There's no magic training aid. There ain't no tech. It's a load of garbage if you think that's the case. You're buying false promises. It's crap. So, anyways, to kind of review. And then we also talked about and went through some specifics with putting. And then we kind of wrapped it up with some very specific we talked about ball differences. So all of this inside, folks, when it's 35 dang degrees outside and everybody's freaking out and ticked off because it's so cold, we got all this accomplished in one session, and we can do more. There is so much that we can accomplish indoors, and until you try it and do it, then you can't say anything. Well, you can, but you're wrong. I got news for you. It's BS. So I challenge you, and I challenge everybody to come down and at least do the evaluation lesson minimum, because until you have that information, you don't know what is going on and how it's affecting your ability to get what you want done. And there's no point in going and buying a bunch of equipment because it's not going to magically fix you. I have done this for almost 20 years now indoors, and there is so much we can get done. In fact, most of the time it can be done better. And that's the most important thing. Indoor golf, while you may not like it, that's a difference. That's your personal opinion. It is accurate technology at the pub, www.thegolfpub.com, my partners in crime. They're ready for you, by the way. They put up another one there, say, hey, come on down. It's going to be cold, but not inside. And it's going to be nice. It is accurate enough, I can tell you that. And for the ones that say it's some kind of crazy, ridiculous, it's BS because it's not true. And I can prove it, but you won't probably give me the chance to prove it. That's the problem. But if you do, I bet I can prove it to you. Second, from a learning standpoint, it is the best, hands down, environment we can get you developed and learning from. So I got to run. I got a full day. I got playing lessons. I got lessons at the pub. Maybe I'll see you later down there. Whatever. Hit me up. Now, if you wanted to get going with this, now's the time. Holiday sale up to 40% off lesson pricing. That goes away Christmas Eve. And if you just want to try it out, right? You don't know me. You don't know what this is all about. Come on down. Set up a free demo lesson. Let's do this. Come on down. Meet with me. Let me have a chance to show you and get you to understand what's going on. And then you can decide maybe you want to do that evaluation lesson. So anyways, now the time to do it. Look me up everywhere. Twitter, Facebook, you name it. P45 Knuckle Down Golf, P45 KDG, www.p45 Knuckle Down Golf. Anyways, Ryan Carpenter out. Take care.